Alright, it's recording. Alright, hello everybody!
Hello.
Yeah, if you don't know who that guy is, that's...
You must be quite silly. No, actually, you wouldn't be if you haven't seen his videos.
No. If you haven't seen the first two showdown battles that I did, you would know who this person is.
You would know.
And,
Don't mind me.
oh, yes, I do mind. If you don't know, this is Richie, my good friend, also known as the Sterling Steelix. The Sterling
Steel. My name is Sterling Steel.
The Sterling Steel, I meant to say.
There is no the. There is only Sterling Steel.
It's the Sterling Steelix.
There is only Sterling.
And if you don't know who I am the Mellow Torkel. And today we're going to continue on what we did before. But this time I got Richie with me to help me on this. Today we're going to be doing sets on Charizard.
Ta-da! Okay. Do we start out with Charizard X, Charizard Y, or just Charizard in general?
No, I'm going to... Well, first, let's just start about the history of competitive Pokemon as I've known it. I'm going to say this. Charizard, when I was looking at Black and White, when I first played Showdown, was actually one of my very favorite Pokemon to play. Well, actually, no, he wasn't. He was actually one of my most hated. I actually hated playing with Charizard. And then it's like, because he was NU, and I always thought NU Pokemon were just bad, but X and Y came, it gave him his two Megas, got great. Charizard actually got some reason to be here, to be in existence. But then I find out I can't use Charizard in NU because of his Megas. But thankfully, it's been 2 years, but he's back to where he belongs. And I'm not talking about Mega Charizard, I'm talking about normal Charizard. He's back in NU. But for this, we are going to be talking about all three Charizards. Mega X, Mega Y, and normal Charizard. For right now, I want to talk about normal Charizard. So, Charizard plays really good.
Solar power. That's a good one.
Oh, it's about time you came in.
Yeah. I thought I'd just kind of let you do whatever, and then I'd show up. Well, the only problem is I haven't used really Charizard in any competitive form whatsoever in my entire career. So this is going to be kind of interesting. For one, a normal Charizard, give it solar power, if anything, if we're going for singles only. You'll have to watch out for Stealth Rocks and the majority of rock types, ground types that would have rock type coverage. Anything of that nature.
Jesus.
Water types.
Jesus.
We're getting in there.
Jesus. Yes. The reason why.
And electric types. That is a big problem for us. I'm trying to think of the Pokemon in Inu that's a good electric type.
Electivire.
Electivire is a big problem, especially if it's a choice Scarfer. And also Electrode. Electrode is a gigantic problem for Charizard. One Thunderbolt with choice specs is just
hold on.
KO.
So, for all you Gen 1ers out there who don't understand, Charizard was NU, which means never used for at least the introduction of 4th generation. Yeah. Due to Stealth Rocks, and then just...
As well, Charizard was not a very good competitive Pokemon to begin with in the 1st generation. Alakazam kind of ran the entire game there. Psychic would almost one-shot it, and
we're not talking...
it kind of makes a problem there.
We're not talking about Alakazam here, gosh darn it. We're talking about Charizard.
I'm talking about how some of his threats. Now...
That... I don't count
how we build our Charizard.
How we're gonna build our Charizard? Well, first set.
Let's go into the moves first.
Solar power. First, let's go into our stats. If you could
stats, no, we need to get the moves.
Well,
first.
I want to explain his base stats.
No. Well, I mean, he's got okay defenses.
He's got lackluster defenses. 78, 85. Not too bad, but not really good.
Like, you might be able to survive a special hit.
You might be able to survive.
Physical? No.
Probably not, but...
No, even if it's super effective.
But his offense is 84, 109, 100. A base 100 speed. That is nothing to sneeze at, for considering most of NU has some pretty slow Pokemon.
I'd probably have to say the fastest NU Pokemon would be Electrode with a base 140.
Yeah, so Charizard...
That is pretty much the only one you'll have to worry about.
Charizard has 40 less speed than Electrode. But anyways, going into this, we're going to be using Solar Power and...
Now...
going Choice Specs.
Choice Specs?
Yes, this is actually the classic...
No Choice Scarf?
No.
I would have run a Modest Nature with Choice Scarf. The majority of flying types work well with this.
Alright, this is not Staraptor, alright?
Well, you can put more than a Choice Scarf on Staraptor.
Alright, so for stab, we're going Fire Blast and Air Slash, which is really good. Another thing that we can run is... where is it? You can also run Focus Blast for those rock types.
Oh, you run into a small problem there.
Why?
Yeah, Mantine. Mantine would be a great wall against this. You need to be able to counteract Mantine.
Well... You probably also... Well, if anything, you are going to have an electric type on this team to counteract most water types for Charizard, so...
It would be great to add into this is a strategy. Would be a Charizard...
What, with HP Electric?
Oh, no. Charizard and, what's that Pokemon?
Lantern?
Yes. A Charizard Lantern.
That is most likely what most people are going to be running, is Charizard Lantern.
And the best part is, you have both of those weaknesses, water and electric. Now, they might expect you to have Water Absorb or Volt Absorb.
More than likely, it's going to be Volt Absorb.
But some people do run Water Absorb, which is pretty interesting. Or, one of the craziest things you could possibly do is have a Cacturn, a Lantern, and a Charizard. You have Water Absorb, Volt Absorb, and then your Sweeper. Even then, you can still use Cacturn as your physical Sweeper. I make team strategies for a living. It's my job.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. I live and die.
So anyways...
I live and die by the Pokerap.
Your last slot is really... You can really go with anything at this point. You can go Defog. Defog is actually pretty good, especially in this generation.
That's only a 4th generation move. But if you're battling in Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, or X and Y, Dragon Pulse...
Don't judge me.
I know, it's just a 4th generation move tutor, though. If you're only in Showdown, that's fine. But if you're really
again, but like my friends did say, Dragon Pulse is honestly a really good move. And just go, if you really want to go with my friend's advice going Scarfed, I would say go Modest. 252 special attack, 252 speed, Modest, and like the last in what? Special defense, HP, defense?
The last in HP.
And last in HP.
That's what I do with all my sweepers.
That's good, but I like Specs because of that. Because...
just that little bit of extra damage.
That extra damage. I honestly like that extra damage. And, like, even without a Choice Scarf, he gets fast. But let's go on to one of my my favorite.
Could I show you one of my gimmick sets?
Not right now, but for right now, I'm going back in the...
It's a gimmick Charizard.
Oh God, Charizard. Honestly, I like this. We're gonna keep him.
Focus Sash Charizard. Or Life Orb Charizard. They both work very well. It's almost like Garchomp. It's a little itty-bitty special Garchomp.
Here goes Citrus Berry.
I had not seen a Citrus Berry Garchomp.
Well, you're gonna find out why.
Citrus Berry. Belly Drum. It has Belly Drum. It gets access to Belly Drum.
Yes.
I had to think about it. Physical Charizard for the win.
When I was looking through...
With Acrobatics.
With Acrobatics, yes, indeed.
It gets Acrobatics, Flame Charge for that little bit of extra speed, and then Declaw.
Well, it also has Fire Punch.
Thing is, when you have Flame Charge, you get up that little bit of extra speed, get all those critical outspeeds you need. Unless you want to run Jolly instead of Adamant.
Well, I think I can't remember when what people run on Charizard when they do the belly drum, because I think I remember looking at this in Diamond and Pearl. Let me just check right now, and it was that's D-Dance. There it is, belly drum. They do run Jolly.
With a Salak Berry.
With a Salak Berry.
Citrus. That's difficult. Well, depending on whether or not.
Well, Acrobatics. This was, but keep in mind, this was 4th gen. This was before Acrobatics even came around.
Good point.
It had black and white. Yes, it was NU before, so pretty much.
To be completely honest, run Jolly and then also run Flame Charge just to make sure you're outspeeding your opponents.
Well,
you never want to be outsped with this because this will probably be a very frail set.
Another thing I like to run is, but if you really don't mind the fact that you're not that as speedy, go with Fire Punch. But I also like Brick Break on it. Like I said, it's great for those rock types.
Yep, that would be it.
So our spread would be...
I'd say complete 252 in speed with Jolly.
I would say 252 in speed and attack. Go with the Jolly nature.
Now, 252 in attack. I would not recommend that for some reason.
Well, why not?
Because you're already going to be at +4 with the belly drum. So if you put it down there... and then have a little bit of extra survivability, so that Citrus Berry actually makes a difference.
Well, you need to be at. It has to be an even number for belly drum, because belly drum here. I don't think you quite understand what belly drum does. Belly drum, you lose 50% of your max HP.
All right, so
if you have
311, 310. There we go.
There you go.
The little bit of HP is so we can survive, say, 1 or 2 hits, or at least that one hit, that one sucker punch that might just throw us off.
All right. Next up, I think I'm gonna give Richie the wheel.
With which Charizard?
With Charizard, because he's got a gimmick. Well, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna let him take over.
All right. Or since you practically did my gimmick to a certain extent, how about we'll figure out Charizard why?
Was it really belly drum?
No, it wasn't belly drum, but it was something close to.
Oh, we're going straight into Mega.
Charizard Y.
Oh.
I have to deal with this Pokemon all the time.
Well,
I'm a VGC player.
Well, let's explain.
What happens when
Charizard
evolves? When he Mega Evolves, he does not gain any speed. But it is the sad part of Charizard.
But he gets jacked up the wazoo and everything else.
Exactly. So you always run Timid or Jolly.
Why would you run Jolly on this thing?
Charizard X. He still has base 100 speed.
Oh, well.
So you never run Modest Charizard Y or Adamant Charizard X. You always run Jolly Charizard X and Timid Charizard Y. You don't go for offensive because he just doesn't have the speed investment. Now with the full special attack investment, we get nuts. We go crazy. 417.
Got nuts?
it is insane. If we were to go modest,
hold on, Richie. I'm gonna go get a drink.
If we were to go modest with this, that is madness. But we would get outsped and killed very quickly, and we don't want that to happen. So we go in here. He gets access to Air Slash. Great move, great coverage. Now, as usually in VGC, they run Heat Wave. Here we have two options. One, Fire Blast, and the second one would be Flamethrower. Now, the proc of Flamethrower would be that the accuracy is there. The damage is not. Now, when it comes to Fire Blast, we have less accuracy, but more power. So it all depends on what you want. You want accuracy over power. There's several moves. Blast Burn. That's also a great one in doubles. Having Blast Burn, I think it's Hydro Cannon, mixed together, it is insanity. But here, we will go for the Flamethrower. Now, after that, the coverage is really up to you. It really is. You could say go for a substitute set, Tailwind. Tailwind's always good. Now, who else have we got here?
Alright, guys, I'm back.
Don't have a punch.
If you guys don't know, I'm at Richie's house, and...
Oh, there we go, Dragon Pulse. That's the one I was looking for. And then,
we got,
if you're really...
I got pizza.
If you're really wanting to go with that modest nature, with all that, you can set up a Tailwind on this thing. Now, Tailwind's pretty good. It only lasts for 4 turns, so you gotta make sure to be
make the most
concise with your amount of turns.
You make the most out of it.
Always make the most out of it. But that would be my set, if anything. Because you always gotta have that Tailwind.
It also makes...
Even then, if someone switches in something else, you set up that Tailwind, you have the chance for another Pokemon to come in and completely be able to sweep or anything like that. You literally have a support Pokemon in a Sweeper Mega.
Yeah, that's
great.
That's why I always thought that Mega Charizard Y is sort of a pseudo support, because it
also does get access to Will-O-Wisp,
and it also gets access to Roost.
That too. So is Charizard X. Actually, Charizard X makes a great support Pokemon. Will-O-Wisp, Tailwind, Roost, and then Dragon Claw for that little bit. And there you go. You got like one of the perfect support Pokemon. Crobat does roughly the same thing, but it's better. And we'll get on into that set later on. That'll also be better.
But yeah, we won't be at Crobat for a long time. But while we're on the set of Charizard X, let's do him. So Charizard X, pretty much more balanced than, is more physically defensive. It gets more physical attack, but it has less special attack and less special defense. It's more on the physical side. One of my favorite things to do is just go D-Dance. Just go D-Dance, Dragon Claw, Earthquake, and Flare Blitz, if you want to go there. Go Jolly. Another thing you can do is just go Dragon Claw, Earthquake, Flare Blitz, and Roost. I honestly think that Charizard X is actually a better user of Roost. because it doesn't lose a typing. It doesn't lose a typing while it's using Roost. If you don't know, Roost, if you're a flying type, you lose your flying typing, but you regain 50% of your HP. If I'm not mistaken. Yep. Until the end of the turn. Which, if you're a lot of other flying types, and that includes Crobat. If they can predict, they can predict a Roost, they can, and they have Earthquake, they can end your life. Charizard X is still weak to Earthquake, but he can get pretty bulky. Now, I did think Richie did mention a defensive set, and he is right. Let me see here. But I think I might let Richie do this, but oh, excuse me.
There you go.
Yeah, he's back. So Richie, I started talking about Charizard X. And is there any other sets on Charizard X that you think are good, like defensively?
You've already did the offense and then the support?
Well, I did. No, I didn't do the support. I just did 2 offensive.
Alright, then, support.
Support!
Now, first, this time, we'll actually have to go into the stats first.
Alright.
See, it's got decent defenses. Now,
I already explained that.
bulk it out in HP. Next, we throw not so much into speed, but into defense. Defense would be roughly 100.
The rest in speed?
No, actually, special defense. There you go. No, actually, 100 in special defense. 100 in defense. And rest in speed. Now, here's where it starts to get crazy. This actually isn't support. Throw on the belly drums.
Why why belly drum?
Belly drum. I have tough claws. Do you think I would never give up a time to do this?
So what, flame charge?
Yep.
Oh,
Flame charge and Dragon Claw.
And what's last move? Roost?
Roost could be good, or anything else you, for that matter. This is just kind of like a dumb gimmick set.
So yeah, that's a gimmick set. But we have 2 good regular Charizard sets that you can try out in NU. Probably pretty much the only way you can play Charizard Y. And 3 ways to play Charizard X. Next time we will be doing Blastoise. So don't expect a long video. All right. See you
Peace.
guys.